Hasan says Asmongold is evil and uneducated who doesn't have friends.
Is he evil and uneducated? Yes, he is both evil and uneducated. I don't really like saying he's evil though, because he kind of gets off on that. I think he's just a fucking loser. That's what it is. He's just a friendless loser who people don't even want to be around for the most part.
Not only that, but people don't want to be around him, and the people who are around him and are friends with him are people who are
and he'll turn around and say this is like ad hominem or some shit, but it's because he has a repulsive ideology. And the only people, it's not an accident, the only people that want to farm clout off of his ass are also disgusting monsters. Like half of his fucking best friends are outed as like rapists and pedophiles and lolly enjoyers. Like he's just a repulsive guy surrounded by also repulsive people.
Hasan also said that Asmon's dad would be disgusted with him if he was alive and saw him today. Here, watch this.
His father would be disgusted by this now. Yeah, but it's, you know, there's no one holding him back at this point.
Hasan will never get over that someone he thinks is less attractive gets more views than he does and has takes that are more based in reality. That's what eats Hasan up.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
His dad was one of the biggest Hasan haters. I remember the Steak and Eggs podcast with his dad. He seemed proud of his son. I genuinely wonder if Hasan and Asmongold plan these little public outbursts at each other. Like, could this all basically just be streamer WWE? Hasan doesn't know what he's talking about. Asmongold's dad would be saying even more extreme things. Hasan clearly has never heard Asmon talk about his father. Then Asmongold responds to that, saying that it's very weird to see that Hasan is trying to push his political agenda by bringing up his dead dad. He says that he doesn't have to go to parties and brag about how much money he has and hang around 20-year-old guys to prove himself.
His father would be disgusted by this now. Yeah, but
what is this?
It's, you know, there's no one holding him back at this point.
It's a very weird messaging where you're like trying to like use my dad and like trying to put your political views on like what my dead dad would have thought. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, everyone was like on their fucking hands and knees being like, why won't Asmongold come and fucking smell bad at our parties?
Yeah, actually, I've been invited to a lot of events. I have been, and I've chosen not to go because I think it'll just create drama. Like, I don't need to clout chase. I don't need to go and hang out with 20-year-olds, right? Go to the phase party and then, you know, talk about how much money I'm making at the phase party like he does. You know, now you're using a soundboard. You're 34, you're 35, man. Like, what are you doing? It's just embarrassing.
Tectone reacts to that and says, I wonder who the bad guy in this is, the guy who take care of roaches better than the other guy take care of his dog, or the guy who decides to go after dead parents, push false allegations against every creator, goes to Diddy party. You know what? You know where I'm going with this. How about they're both grifters to the extreme side of both political aisles? One grifts for clout, the other grifts for attention. Hasan caring so much about others' approval is what makes people not like him. His dad was a boomer Democrat through and through, but the man fought in Nam. I respect him greatly. So does Asmongold. It's not a surprise he leans that way. I may not agree with his left leanings, but you should not be disrespectful to his dad or where he comes from. Asmon's done enough. We don't need to bring up his dead dad. We could just bring up how he provided advice to Peter, defended the G in Gaza, and speaks of his desire to be up there with white nationalists like Feud. A journalist called Kiriakou rejected to have a collab with Hasan, and when Hasan hears this, he goes nuclear. John says that Hasan is toxic and most of his takes are anti-American, so he cannot support someone of that kind. Hasan hears this and says that he goes to Tucker Carlson and Russia Today, who are controversial but won't come to his show. Here, take a look.
As I saw recently that John's going on Hasan Piker's stream. A lot of his rhetoric is anti-American. His community is also extremely toxic, especially to the left. Curious as to why you're associating with that. I'm not going on Hasan Piker.
Wait, what?
Hasan Piker reached out.
I don't understand. His team or himself actually literally said that they would do it in April. It's very surprising. Yeah, also he goes on Tucker Carlson and Russia Today. What do you mean I'm too fucking toxic? Like the person that the person that sent that donation is like talking to a guy who has a show on Russia Today. Like, the fuck?
He said just this morning he was planning something with Hasan and 2 others. He always lashes out on his chat when people don't want to collaborate with someone who carries themselves the way Hasan does. I can't imagine him in a relationship, especially with another online personality. They would get more views and he'd shock them like his dog. Now imagine if Asmongold lands an interview with him. To be honest, it might be because it would be the biggest giveaway in history if he did a collab with Hasan that John is really a CCP agent. Some of the things I've seen that dudes say are genuinely insane. It sucks because it would genuinely be a good stream. I don't feel like much people have asked Kiriakou good questions. Watch this video next and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.